And Billy Newland.
Hey! What's going on, folks?
Wake up, Wilmington.
Hey, good morning, Clinton.
Sounded that out like I do Holy Toledo.
And good morning, Clinton County.
Yeah, that's right. Clinton County now, countywide.
That's right. Rick loves it when I sing, so.
Yeah, we got to break out the earplugs.
Well, we got him here.
Rick, just be glad that you brought good food.
Oh, hey, it wasn't me. But I
It was
brought
marvelous.
You know what I'm thinking right now,
it.
Rick? Putting down my singing.
We're all on sugar.
Read my mind, Rick.
Yeah.
That's why I could have went a little longer on
Rex
that.
was going to be bouncing over that corner. She had that big.
She had that chocolate donut. She took my chocolate cream-filled donut.
And then she had a big. No, she didn't. What did you eat?
There was 2 or 3 of those, wasn't there?
I don't know.
You ate the other one, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I haven't had any donuts.
Yeah, I
I just had. I don't think I can handle any more sugar.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
shouldn't. I know my thing my thing starts going ding 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 ding. Yeah, that's a possibility this morning.
Well,
That's-
it's Friday, Charlie.
Yes.
I'm talking about my sugar.
And we get a 3-day weekend because we're not on the air on Monday.
Yep.
I may go on the air Monday. Who knows? Anyhow, 60 degrees, 62 for a high today. Right now it's only about 45.
Yeah. Ohio weather at its best.
But it's beautiful.
It's supposed to be in the 60s all the next 10 days.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Sunshine. I'll take it. There's no rain.
Sunshine on my shoulders.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
All right. We have one bad singer. We don't need 3 or 4.
We don't need. We don't
I
need.
wasn't asked to do the national anthem, don't worry.
I thought you
Yeah.
sounded good. Don't we
Been
pick-
there, done that.
Don't be picking on my bill. What are you doing?
Oh, your bill.
Bill.
That's right, it's my
Uh-oh.
bill. I was just complimenting Bill on the ride over this morning, wasn't I? Yeah,
Bill,
I was.
ears burning.
Yes, he must be.
I was complimenting, not on the singing. but I was
All
complimenting
every
on-
day. Every day.
Anyhow,
Even in my
Anywho.
sleep, probably.
so first of all, first things first, happy anniversary.
Thank you. I appreciate
How many
it.
years?
44. Adam
My
Dunn.
God. The woman.
Oh,
Adam
wow.
Dunn, Jerry West. Yep. Yep.
And my condolences to
The
Deanna.
Yeah, no, she's a saint.
She's the same.
She is a saint. But she makes Buckeyes. And Rick's wife
Even more of a saint.
makes
Yep.
lovely chocolate chip cookies. And what's this thing called?
It's chocolate chip brownies,
It's more.
and then it's got the chocolate glazed icing over top of it.
And they have just a tad too much sugar.
Oh, you never have too much sugar.
No, sugar's good.
No, you never have too much
Rachel's
sugar.
about 4 feet off the ground over there.
Yeah,
Chocolate is good
She's
for you.
almost touching the
that's right.
chandelier.
So go get up 60s. We have the food. Speaking of food, we have the food truck rally tonight, 4 to 8. And Clinton Becker was on here the other day. We got several. I told Joe Holden they got a good Thai truck coming in.
Did you have to wake him up?
No, he was waiting. He said his dog was having problems again, but he just forgot last night. He sounded like he was stressed out. He's had a rough week. Had to move jobs around and not, that kind of thing. You got to wait for people to come in. Wait for stuff to come
Before you
in.
get to her, they're just her chain.
Matt
Oh.
Beamer, Wake Up Friday. Don Wells, good morning. Did you notice I stole one of your pictures?
Yes, I did.
That is a nice picture.
No worry. And you're right. It is a sunset picture from my driveway looking
But
towards.
you can't really tell.
You can't. So it's looking towards Burnett Road.
Yeah, I
and
figured
that
it was
farm-
sunset,
Yeah,
but
it
I went ahead
was.
and used it as a good
Yeah, I
morning
actually
picture.
sent that into.
One of the television stations.
Yeah, Channel 7. I sent it to James Brown, and they put it on the air that night for
He was born in, by the way, Jim Brown was born here in Wilmington.
really.
Really?
And Cheryl McHenry, she officially retires
Yes.
tonight,
You're
44
sitting right
years.
here with me, Karen.
Yeah, last Wednesday was her last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Jerry is here today. Jerry's just right there. Jerry could be on right now. We got an empty seat.
Well, we're hoping that Marty's going to.
Well, Marty Bogart's
Marty
supposed
Bogart
to
is
be.
our scheduled guest.
Scheduled
although
guest.
He may.
Ask,
Excuse me.
Matt Beamer asked Rick how the pizza was.
Pizza was fantastic.
I think he may have gone to that senior breakfast this morning. He probably wanted to get some food there. I was hoping he'd bring us some barbecue.
And then the frap was good as always. Matter of fact, I went to the council meeting right after, and they all got on me.
let me be one of the first to congratulate you publicly. Do you know what you're getting into? Welcome back to council.
I don't know what these deranged people are to keep wanting to.
We're trying to get Jerry to run for mayor of New Vienna.
Jeez. And
Hey,
Jerry's behind the
2
screen
years,
there,
and then I
Matt,
am
with
done.
the evil emperor.
Yeah, Jerry's back here.
Jerry is right there.
We're plotting evil things.
Yeah.
He could be up here, but we're supposed to have a guest. So, no, he's back here trying to learn how to do some of Rick's stuff because, can I say that in the all thing, you know, it may be a year from now, maybe 6 months, but maybe a month or two. Yeah,
Sooner than later.
we're going to do a wake up Washington courthouse. Yes, Matt Beamer, I got appointed.
I'm an apprentice evil emperor.
He's a little evil.
He's a little devil. We got Satan, then we got the little devil.
Oh,
right there.
jeez.
I probably will bow out at 9 and head over to church.
Just say your Hail Mary, you should be all right. All right, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. All right. So let's talk about a little news, and this was the first thing on the news, and it was very interesting. Did you know how many? First of all, let's see if you guys know how many Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles are there?
6, isn't it?
That's right. There's 6. Guess where they're all going to converge on one place tomorrow.
Indianapolis.
You know this already. Yeah, they got a race.
Oh, a race on the
The
Indian.
Wienermobiles are going
race.
to have a race.
I was going to say Pittsburgh because I figured it had a tie-in with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Wienermobiles
Okay.
are going to race tomorrow at Indianapolis. It takes them like 25 seconds to get up to 60 miles per hour.
jeez.
So I don't know how many laps they're going to go, but
Probably one.
hopefully no
Yeah.
one crashes. That's
Oh,
what I'm
no,
worried
yeah,
about.
especially on those on that turnaround.
They took them all and got them all matched up. They put the same tune on them. They got the same tires. Everything's the same, so they're all equal.
Yeah.
Nobody can complain.
And they're just want to see which one will,
Except for the drivers.
the drivers.
The driver's weight could make the difference. Anyhow,
Is Doc in one of
And
those?
no, he should be.
Jeff
They're all
Richards?
they're all just they gotta have the same number of wieners. They can't.
Well,
So you're saying that there's no
there might be
female
some
drivers?
female drivers. Yeah. That's
Jeez.
what I say. Yeah, there might be some female drivers.
They have to put an extra wiener in the truck.
Oh, jeez.
As for me, I'd stick to driving a tractor.
My
Oh,
God.
jeez.
I hate it when you crash your wiener. That's what I'd be worried about. Think about it. Those things are expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've seen one. They had one out Cedar Creek for one of my car shows a couple years ago. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Anyhow, that's happening tomorrow in Indianapolis. Those aren't. No, the Wienermobiles are probably all steel or plastic.
Fiberglass,
Probably
yeah.
fiberglass. Yeah. Anyhow,
Bill's trying to hold it.
they're all separated by area. You got the New York Wieners against the Chicago Wieners, against the Sonoma Wieners, against, they're all split up by land
Wieners
areas.
are world awaited.
Who like that's cons. There you go. Who likes ketchup on their hot dogs?
No.
Tommy Thrall of the Reds. I heard him talking about this
Oh,
last
yeah.
night. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Ugh.
Yeah.
Never
Mustard
put
and
ketchup
cheese.
on hot dogs.
That's
Ketchup. I
My
put
wife
ketchup on
does.
meatloaf, and I put ketchup on potatoes,
But not on hot
not
dogs.
on hot dogs.
Hot dogs, mustard, maybe some relish
I
occasionally.
can't stand mustard.
Got to put mustard on
I
a hot
hate
dog.
mustard.
You're not American if you don't use mustard on hot dogs.
That's like putting ketchup
What
on
about you, Rick?
soft
It's.
pretzel.
I used to do ketchup and mustard. Now it's just straight mustard and cheese.
What about a little relish?
No.
I like coney dogs though too.
I was going to say I'd just take chili dog.
Yeah. Well, but you can put the onion and mustard with it too.
Well, with my stomach the way it is, probably not. Wouldn't be a good idea.
The older we get, the more finicky our stomach gets, doesn't it?
You got that right.
This next part of news is for Jerry. Stocks had more humps than a camel family reunion yesterday,
Oh,
but they did
jeez.
finish barely down. But they were up and down all day. The new bill, the great big beautiful bill. In case you don't know what's in it, I'm getting ready to tell you some of the stuff that's in it. It passed. 216.
The house.
The House.
The House, yeah.
2 votes.
No, 215
Yeah, passed by 2 votes.
one.
Yeah.
to 1. 216 to 215. Yeas had it. And then there was one that basically is an abstention that just voted president. So
Now, Warren Davidson voted no, and so did Tom Massey.
great brownies. Yes. As always.
Real big thumbs up.
But here we go. We're increasing the standard deductions, $1,000 for singles, $2,000 for joint. So that takes it up to $16,000 for singles, $32,000 for joint filers. Temporary $500 increase in the child tax credit, unless it's a newborn. That's $1,000. So if you got kids, they're trying to encourage you to have kids here. No, they are. That's a big thing. That is a big thing. The estate tax exemption is going up to $15 million. But also, seniors are getting supposedly a $4,000 increase on their standard deductions. So we'll take that.
Maybe I can go to work for Walmart.
There is, though, a $700 billion cut to Medicaid. And they say 7.6 million Americans may be losing benefits. But those just taking care of some of that.
Yes.
That's not
there's a lot
all.
of fraud and abuse in that
Yeah, there's a
program.
lot of stuff that's been mishandled there. So I don't know how many people's going to lose their stuff.
Well,
But,
they're still trying to kill Obamacare.
well, in the Senate, there's some people in the Senate that don't want to see that. So that may be one of the things that's reconciled in the Senate. The Senate may say, no, baby, no, we're not going to do that. Also, $267 billion cut to food stamps.
Or SNAP as they call it
SNAP,
nowadays.
yeah,
Once
right.
again, a lot of fraud and abuse.
Well, and you know what just drives me crazy? Oh, gosh.
When they're buying steak in front of you. And
I got my hamburgers and hot dogs, and they're buying steaks and Red Bulls. But here's the thing, and also the shrimp. Right, here's the other thing that gets me. The other day I was behind a lady in line. I probably shouldn't say this. Now, I'm not going to say her. I don't know her name. Now, she got $72 worth of food. She owed $7 and was complaining because she didn't think she should have owed anything. Which, whatever. She
She had
paid.
stuff in there that didn't qualify.
Didn't qualify for it, yeah.
She paid her $7. Then they walk right around the corner and buy probably $20, $30 of the lottery tickets.
I was going to say probably lottery.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What's even worse is when you see somebody get a whole cartload, they pay for it with the
the snap.
SNAP, go out and get a Cadillac Escalade.
Yeah.
I actually saw that right here.
So there is.
What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
Well, there is room there for probably cuts to be made. No one wants to see anybody that really needs it cut.
Lose
Well,
everything.
You're directing the food that you could purchase so that you're not spending, SNAP on Red Bull.
Doing a lot of
Milk, bread,
a lot
crackers.
of druggies, they will,
Oh, yeah.
they'll sell you their SNAP card for 20 minutes. You go buy your
Can you
stuff.
turn that mic off, or was
Yes, it's off.
That's fine. Well,
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that you just.
Yeah, let's say you got a couple hundred in SNAP benefits. Well, they'll take the 100 cash so they can go buy their stuff, and then you go spend the 200 in SNAP benefits.
Yeah, there's a lot of
A lot of that going on.
shenanigans going on.
All right.
Game the system.
You know what? It's past time for a break. We'll take a break. We'll come back and continue on with the news.
Have a great
Oh.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization event or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 335 6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Forget the clown princes of basketball, the Harlem Globetrotters. There's a new all-star, family-friendly comedy polo team taking the sporting entertainment world by storm. The Equine Trots.
Bringing their highfalutin, high-kicking, mallet-swinging, horsey hijinks to an equestrian center near you.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. Made up stories just like these.
As well as real news about what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
On the Murphy Report. News the way it's meant to be delivered.
In less than 30 minutes, or it's free.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
Amanda, my buddy Sam was recently tossed from his own horsey all the way across the arena, landed in a soft bale of hay right next to another horse that was already asleep.
Oh my, that sounds dangerous. What's his condition?
Stable.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. City Council surprisingly votes 4-3, banning citizens from dressing up their puppies.
mere days before the local kennel club's National Puppy Jamboree.
It's a canine conundrum.
And City Hall has blood on its paws.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Feel-good stories we make up just for you every Monday morning, plus the latest on what's coming to the Murphy Theater in Wilmington, Ohio on The Murphy Report.
Your mistrusted name in made-up news.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Amanda, but I dress up both of my dogs, Claire and Wally.
Let me guess. Bonnie and Clyde.
Nope.
Abbott and Costello.
Nope.
Mickey and Minnie.
Close. William Gibbs McAdoo and the first of his 3 wives, Sarah Hazelhurst Fleming.
Of course, the Treasury Secretary under Woodrow Wilson.
And his wife. The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
Personal.
Let's get personal. Personal. Sundays, fun days, 5 days. As soon as we eat our Raisin
Can't
Bran.
wait to see the seal girl.
We got to see some Raisin Bran, though. 5 to 8, 5 to 8. Be there.
Be there, be square.
That's right. With your host, Dr. Jeffrey Footlong Schusler. And, okay. What's this? The winning winner will be crowned after just 2 laps of the 2.5 mile long over. I got $1 on number 3 by 9 inches.
Oh, jeez.
That means it'll be more like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Kevin always lies about lengths of that nature.
That's right. He's fibbing about the length.
Yeah, exactly. Also, your host for Let's Get Personal, Sarah, played me like a piccolo fife. All right, here we go. More news. Mission Impossible, bump, 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 bump,
Last
bump,
one.
bump, bump.
This is the
Opens
last one.
tonight.
Yep. But
Stitch movie also. If you like Lilo and Stitch, that opens too. Israeli embassy, we had 2 people killed yesterday in front of the Jewish History Museum.
yeah, in D.C.
Yep. Yep. One of those probably left-wing nuts, I'd say.
They're saying that might be an excuse for Israel to attack Iran, trying to start a war.
Really? What would I have to do with anything? This guy wasn't Iranian, was he?
I don't think so. I think when they arrested him, he was just yelling.
I think he might have been Muslim.
Yeah, he was yelling support
So, yeah.
Hamas or whatever. Yes.
CT Bowen. How you doing, CT?
Right now, Israel doesn't need much to go after anybody.
No.
BYD outsells Tesla for the first time in Europe. 7,231 cars to 7,165. BYD is the Chinese Tesla.
Oh, okay. Did not know that.
Yeah. Judge says no to abolishment of the Department of Education in Massachusetts. Says 1,300 need to be rehired immediately.
Which will not happen.
Just saying.
Supreme Court will stop it.
The penny is finally about to die.
Yep, this is
233 years.
this is the last batch. They said when you run out of the blanks, it's over with.
So they're gonna round it up then to the nearest? Okay.
Of course.
That'll be tough on marketers.
Oh,
because, you know, the 10.99 special will now be $11, and people say, "Ooh, that's expensive."
No, it'll be 10.95 or 11.95. They said in Canada, they did this in Canada, by the way, in 2012. So they did it 13 years ago. They're way ahead on this, but they will. It's funny because the penny costs 3.7 cents to make, but get this: the nickel
costs more.
costs 14 cents
Yeah.
to mint.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did read
So
that,
are we
yeah.
Are we saving money or are we not saving money? I don't know.
So are we better just getting rid of coins altogether?
No,
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 What? I hope not.
no.
no.
Supreme Court blocked the taxpayer charter school. That was, wait, was that a Catholic school in Oklahoma?
It was
Yeah,
a parochial or it was
yeah.
a faith-based school.
I got one last thing. Mr. Beast, the big YouTube guy, is the first billionaire under 30 years old.
Never even heard of him.
Then you need to get with it. It's 2025. Look up, you'll laugh your butt off. Look up Mr. Beast on
Okay.
YouTube. Plus, do you have that Amazon? Do
Yeah.
you have Prime?
Yeah.
They have a whole Mr. Beast show from his last season where he runs people through all these games and gives them money. At the end, he gives away $10 million.
Jeez.
You got to watch
You
it.
got to watch it?
Rick,
I'll have to do
it's-
some digging.
It's one of those things that's addictive
Oh,
because of the things he makes these people do. So if you like mind games,
yep. That's it.
yeah, I didn't know, I'll be honest with you, 2 years ago, I didn't know anything about it. The kids where I was at love it. They just, he has his own version of, what was that movie where the games, what is it?
Hunger Games.
No. Where they, yeah, where they like the first one's red light, green light, they run out.
Oh, yeah.
He has his own version of
Okay.
that. And gives money away. I've told Rick to watch. I don't know if you ever watched it or not. Mr. Beast. It's on. That show is on. Like I said, Amazon Prime. But he's been all over YouTube for years.
Never heard of him.
Oh,
I'll have to check it out.
let me know what you think. You need to watch it too. You ever get on YouTube?
Hardly ever.
Watch Mr. Beast. Watch Mr. Beast. You'll be like, man, this guy's nuts. All right, that's all I got for news. But Bill,
Anybody that's a NASCAR fan, if they're wanting to watch the Coca-Cola 600 Sunday, you're going to have to watch it. You're going to have to take out a Prime account because it's only going to be television.
it's only on Prime.
Oh, really?
gosh.
That used to be on NBC, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the days of Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart.
Oh,
and
yeah,
bringing back-
I was a fan of
gosh.
Stewart for sure. He didn't run a lot
after
of
Dale
races,
passed
but
away, I liked Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
I loved his competitiveness. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I'm going to tell you what killed NASCAR. When they let Toyota in. When they let Toyota in, that lost probably a third, if not more,
They also went
of
over
their
the globe.
viewers.
That wasn't
Yeah.
helpful.
But then Toyota was in way before all that nonsense. But when I know several people, that was what as soon as Toyota come in, they
They
were
left.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that were disenchanted with
Yeah,
that.
they were gone. Toyota didn't need to be in
They're trying to
NASCAR.
get Honda in
Yeah, well, that means more people will leave.
because they're just, and that's like some of the races that's been in places for years. Well, Kentucky Speedway. Great
What a
speedway.
shame. What a shame.
Yeah, you built
Great
that
But getting in and out of there was the problem. We all know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they had that fixed. It wasn't. It was a piece of cake getting in and out of there.
Yeah.
But they're having to move around. They have to go to different venues now because they go somewhere where the race hadn't been there before. They can fill a stadium.
Right.
You go to some places, they can't get the crowd.
No. Well, they've seen it.
That's what happened in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and the guy that owned the Speedway in Kentucky was a part of the clique group of owners, so he was an outsider.
Well, actually, the France family owns
Okay.
Speedway now.
Who does?
France.
Okay.
Yeah, they own the majority. Now, that's controlled totally by the French.
Tony Stewart has found a home in NHRA. Huh.
He with the drag race.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
And we got the Indianapolis 500 coming up this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, with the wiener race.
Yes.
The wieners run on Saturday.
The greatest spectacle
Well, I mean,
in racing.
I don't understand. Do you have to have at least 9 inches in order to race?
I don't know. I don't know what the average length of a hot dog
Well, I
is.
couldn't even work in a picture.
I know we got a foot long. Then we have the.
That's a man measure. Foot long.
Well, if that's the case, tell me about a Dodger dog in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
Mastodon
The
Bill?
Dodger dog.
You going to Mastodon Bill?
Supposed to.
I thought he said something else.
He's going to feel like he needs it.
I said
It's about
Dodger
Master
dog.
Day. It sounded,
Dodger dog.
it sounded bad.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what, Bill? We're gonna hold you off till after the break. 'Cause
Probably,
it's almost 8:30. He drives
We got a lot of
drives
sports.
Top Fuel. Top Fuel is Tony. That's Tony Stewart.
Yes.
Ron Rennell's. You still need to get your skinny butt on here, and so you need to bring me a Kyle Ray triple extra large shirt. By the way.
All right.
Labor analysts have done the math. If God used union workers to create the world, just how long would it take?
6 days and a day of rest? Hardly. Experts say we might still be under construction, but at least we'd be on more solid ground.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Made-up stories just like these are what we're about on The Murphy Report, with a new report every Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Plus all the real news about what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in the heart of downtown Wilmington.
Hosted by veteran anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone. It's news you might lose. But if you do, we'll find it, we'll pick it up, we'll roll it up, and we'll stick it back in your front screen door.
That sounds more like a newspaper, Steve.
This isn't a newspaper?
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us. Nursery rhyme historians uncover the truth about Jack and Jill.
there was no hill to climb, and new clues cast doubt on there ever being a pail. What could be next? The tortoise and the hare living together?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. The nursery rhymes may be made up, but the only thing made up here is the news.
That's right, Steve. On The Murphy Report. With a new report every week beginning Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Hard-hitting, cutting edge, and a third less fulfilling.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
A combined 415 years in the news business.
It's made up news you can count on to get you through your day.
And put you to sleep at night, just like me with my warm milk and cookies. And a plethora of heart-related medications.
Plus all the real news on what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
That's on The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Hey, folks.
Diamondback Wildlife Extraction. Hopefully they don't show up here one morning. We'd all be in trouble then, especially Jerry. Hey, Bill is here, and you know what I need to start doing? I did that last week. I had a little sports quiz for you last week.
I did like that. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
I'll do that again next week. I didn't do it this week. I should have done it.
Yeah, you should have done it.
Well, I did it for Travis yesterday. Because Travis is he's pretty sharp.
Yeah, but he didn't have all the answers.
No,
There was someone else.
I could give the. I bet I could give the same quiz to Bill. If we need some time filler, we'll do that. And we'll see if We'll see if Bill can help, but you guys can't say the answers because you know all the answers.
I always did like it going to Riverfront or Synergy Field when it was called that, the scoreboard stumper, just to see
yeah.
if you could answer the question. Oh, yeah, that was always great. And you always anticipated, okay, who are they playing? Okay, they're playing the Giants, so you knew there was going to be some players with the Giants involved, or the Pirates, or somebody like that. That was always kind of neat. Okay, we'll lead off talking about baseball.
Hey, baseball.
Let's talk about baseball. Well, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start out with what happened the other day against Wilmington, but I will say this. The scoreboard shows Wilmington lost 10-0, but as you could say, in a matter of a line drive going one way or the other, felt for Cam Griffith. Wilmington gets 2 runners on. The game, of course, was played at Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. What an outstanding complex that is. And in case you didn't know how good they are, they have been in the state Final Four like, 4 or 5 years now, and they won the state championship back in 2021, and they've been right up there. They always compete very well. Beautiful complex. Bob Gardner Field is right off of Fields Erdel off Snyder Road. I drive in there and I'm thinking, holy Toledo, this is even nicer than some of the college campuses I've been on.
It's nice.
But Wilmington got they got 2 runners on. Cam nailed the pitch into center field. The center fielder had him played a little bit shaded towards right. If he would have been in dead center field, the ball would have gone all the way to the fence. Wilmington could have had a 2-0 lead. After that point, they got 1 more hit and 2 batters on. One was hit by a pitch, and there was a walk. And Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, they won in a walk-off fashion. It was 8-0 going into the last of the 5th. They scored 2 runs in the last of the 5th, and so that's the way it goes. Run rule, 10-0. Now let's talk about the good things that happened. Clinton Massey won over Wyoming, 7-3. That was an upset. They trailed early, 3-0. Falcons tied the game at 3-all in the 6th, and then they scored 4 runs in the 8th inning, and they put away the Wyoming Cowboys. They will face Roger Bacon on Wednesday. Bacon won their game over Reading, the Blue Devils, 3-0. Roger Bacon.
The higher seed.
The game will be played at Roger Bacon High School. That's where Mike Nosk is the basketball coach, by the way. Now, the winner of that game then will advance to the district final. East Clinton, congratulations to the Astros. They defeated Georgetown 13-3, 10-run rule. They will play Cincinnati Country Day on Wednesday the 28th. Blanchester Wildcats. Boy, I tell you, Aaron Lawson, you got to give this guy credit. He's done one heck of a job. Blanchester baseball, you know, it was good when Padgett was there, when Eddie Padgett was the coach, but Aaron's taken it to the next level. The Wildcats had a no-hitter against North College Hill, 23-2. 23-2, the final score. They are now 16-8. They will play Miami Valley Christian Academy, the number 2 seed. Ironically, they're in a tough bracket. For Blanchester, they're in Division 5, and that game will be played next Tuesday, the 27th, and that'll be at the Midland Baseball Complex down at Batavia. Credit out to the guys that combined on the no-hitter. Let's give them a shout-out. Sammy Roush, Caleb Sears, Drew Davenport, and Dane Skates. That's a pretty good accomplishment to go for a no-hitter.
A little baseball history here. You know, I used to umpire years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I umpired a bunch of years.
The first umpire that got thrown out of a game?
No. You know, I don't think I did ever throw anybody out of a game.
Well, back then it was more civilized.
But no, this is kind of cool. The first game I ever umpired behind the plate, Bart Couch was pitching for Clinton Massey. He threw a no-hitter.
Wow.
Yeah, first game ever. I got to umpire a no-hitter.
You were for that one, weren't you?
Nah, it was not Clinton Massey. So, but I mean, it was fun. I mean, to be honest with you.
You know, I'll be 67 on Tuesday. I wondered, I think Tim and I are pretty close in age as Tim Starkey, Foot, as everybody calls him.
Oh, yeah.
He's still umpiring today. And I said to him, he was umpiring at Massey. I says, you still doing this? He goes, I can't get it out of my blood. It's in my DNA.
Yeah.
And he's a real good umpire. I'll say this, he's consistent. Lots of times you hear guys say, hey, he's too wide or too high strike, whatever. He's consistent. And I will say this about the game that I saw the other day against Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. You'll hear the opposing coaches say, give me that count or give me that call. You know what? These guys were really good. I got to say that. There was hardly any disputes in that game the other day. But so glad that we do have some Clinton County baseball teams that are moving on. And so best wishes go to the Falcons, the Astros, and to the Wildcats. But, you know, it's a shame for Blanchester. Here they are going up against the number 2 seed. They've had a heck of a good season. It's just the bracket you're placed in.
Right. Well, and now that they've gone to so many divisions.
Yeah,
it
You're saying
breaks things down a little bit
watering
more.
it down a little bit.
You're feeling sorry for a team that just won 23-3.
Yeah. Well, who they have to play next? They
Next
got to
is-
play the number 2 seed that's only lost 2 or 3 games all year.
16-8.
16-8. Yeah. So congratulations to them. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? I'm holding off bringing up about Jerry Sheevy. That's going to be a tough one.
We'll do that.
Bill, when you were younger, did you play softball?
Yes, I did. In Blanchester. Yep.
Get thrown out of the game? Come on, Bill.
Uh-oh.
Nelson
Jerry-
Jackson rang me up.
Jerry, you have some inside information here?
He must know something.
Yeah.
Yep. We had a team called Whitaker's Oak Hill. Lady down in Morrow sponsored us. A bunch of us kids from Little Miami all got together and we'd play, and it was fun. And I was he'd call it the acting manager or whatever, and I was giving Nelson heck, and I did chew tobacco in my earlier days. And I says, Nelson, you blew, and about that time the water tobacco comes out. He goes, Lemon, you're out of here. I got launched.
Oh, jeez.
They always tell you, too, if you're going to go out and argue with the umpire, don't throw your hands in the air. We all know I talk with my hands. So I put my hands in my pockets. I go out there and I just go like head to head. And I threw my hat one time also. But,
Did you have
yeah,
inside
I've toned it down a little bit, huh?
Did Jerry have inside information on that?
He must know somebody. Chester Reb Wilson. He was the guy that ran the Blanchester ballpark for years.
Well, no, you know, that's Larry Wilson's dad.
Really?
He used to be the band director at
East Clinton.
Yeah, he was my
Yep.
band
Chester
director.
passed away, what was it, the year after my
3 or 4
dad
years
died?
ago.
I think he was 95 or 96. Yep, and he did remember me. He did remember me.
How you doing?
We got a courier
Good
here.
to see you. Yeah, how you doing? All right, thanks, sir.
Yep,
thank you.
I will announce that. You need to come on here sometime.
I will. If I get some time, I'll try.
Seriously. You go ahead, Bill. Keep going.
Okay, well, we lost a real good one the other day. And, you know, if somebody passes away and it's totally unexpected, it
It's a
catches
shock.
you.
Yes.
But still with this one, we knew eventually it was going to happen, talking about Jerry Sheevy. For me, bar none, one of the best coaches I have ever been around. I talked about my affiliation with the college. You see it right there. Bill Ramsire, of course, in football, and Jerry Sheevy and many others there in basketball. But, Jerry, I mean, where can you start? You know, a life well lived, 511 total wins, national champions 2003, 2004. I always called him the mark of consistency. When he became the head coach, it was kind of funny how he'd come to me and Roger Barber and he'd say, guys, I really want to build this program. I want you guys up there. And we always broadcast from the mezzanine level up there on the catwalk. And it was neat. I always enjoyed that. It was great.
Oh, yeah,
And
nice-
we tried
nice
to do
view.
as many games as we could. And we even did some road games. That was the neat thing about it. You know, we did all home and road when Bill was coaching, and when Mike Wallace was coaching, we'd go home and road and do all the football games, and we even did a few of the basketball games on the road, especially when you're up against Capital. And, you know, for me, the thing that I always remember about Jerry is he loved that competitiveness and the head-to-head matchups with Dixie Jeffers at Capital. You got two coaches right there between them. They won 3 national titles, over 1,200 wins, and they just matched wits. It was just, the tension was so thick. As I said in my tribute to Jerry, you could cut it with a knife. But you talk about consistency. Here it is, folks. 14 years. 18 wins or more. Now, he coached at the college roughly 30 years. I know the last 3 weren't the greatest right after COVID and things like that. And, you know, you're only good as what your recruiting is. And things was kind of starting to go a little downhill, no doubt about it. I mean, I'll be fair and be honest. But back to Jerry, successful.
Ooh, nice catch.
10 years or more. 10 years, 20 wins or more. Okay? And let's face it, when they went from the Heartland to the OAC, that's really tough. You're talking the Capitals, Ohio Northern, John Carroll. Some very, very tough teams in both women's and men's basketball. The thing that really stood out for me was that 4-year segment when they did win the national title, but leading up to it. It's all about recruiting. In 01-02, they went 28-2, 17-1 in the OAC. 02-03, just about the same, 26-3, 17-1 in the OAC. I think Capital was the loss each time. Then in 03 and 04, that was the magical ride. The year they went 27-6, and they were 14-4 in the OAC, tied for 3rd. And if you was the champion, you got to be the number 1 seed. Well, they always had the situation where they would have to go play on the road, and they just got into a nice winning streak and so forth. And I've said many times, you're as good as the people you surround yourself with. And he had great assistant coaches over the year. I'll get to that in just a moment. But that year, he had one of the best basketball strategists I have ever been around. I've known this man even longer than I've known my wife, Billy Newland. Billy Newland could seize an opportunity. He would scout opponents. He taught me a lot about scouting, about watching players' tendencies, when they would need a break, how their depth perception was, if their shots were falling or if they were too short. Bill Newland was great at breaking down the opponent. And I can remember on that magical ride, because I was keeping the scorebook that year, the radio station had sold. Roy Hatfield took over doing the play-by-play under new ownership. And so I'm keeping the scorebook, and Scotty's, of course, along for the ride. He's the ball boy, and Dee's with me and everything. But we'd always walk back to the locker room, and Bill would be telling him something. He says, Jerry, we got him right where we want him. But Bill, we're losing. We're down by 5 or 6 points. He said, doesn't matter. We're going to get him in the second half. And it was because of their tenacity. It was because of their conditioning, and because of the right substitution patterns, you know, how to interact the players in and out and so forth. And Bill was always good at making those suggestions, and Scott Rule was one of his assistants too. And Scotty then later went over to the men's program and ran it for a few years. For Jerry, the two things he always told me whenever we interviewed him after the game or when I was doing the newspaper coverage, there's two things you have to do. You have to win the battle of the boards, control the rebounds, and fewest turnovers. If you win those two battles, you will normally win the game because you'll score more points because you will control the possessions, no doubt. His celebration of life for Jerry, it's going to be held on June 29th, 2 o'clock at Fred Risk Arena at Herman Court. And his actual services will be on Wednesday, June the 4th of 2025 at St. Vincent Ferrer Catholic Church down there off Montgomery Road. I was just down that area the other day, of course, when I went to CHCA. And he'll be buried at the Gate of Heaven Cemetery. Life well lived. You know, the thing I look at, too, is...
Yeah, cancer?
Yeah, he's been battling cancer here for the last several months. Kept it close to the vest. I had to look at some kind of humor. I knew he was real close friends with Don Donaher, my favorite all-time college coach. And Jerry graduated from UD in 1971. I just said Don needed somebody up there with him. There's no doubt about it. Them two are in heaven now, no doubt. But you look at the mark of a good coach, and this is something I talked about with Corey Cockrell. Look at the former assistants that he groomed who are now active head coaches today. Bob Bolden over at Ohio University. Brian Neal, who came in here and was the SID, Sports Information Director, and was an assistant basketball coach. He left, went down to NKU, Northern Kentucky, worked with Nancy Whitsell. He never became the head coach there at that time, but Brian was a very good coach. Went to Thomas More, and then from Thomas More, when Kevin McDuff accepted the job at Ohio State, succeeding Jim Foster, they tapped Brian Neal to be the head coach at Xavier. And he had a pretty good run there for 3 or 4 seasons. And let's face it, that's a D1 school, and it's very tough. He departed there, and I think he actually left by mutual agreement. And so then he was out of coaching for a couple of years. I think he sold insurance, and he got a job down in Florida. And he said, if the opportunity ever presents itself, I'd love to come back to Ohio. I've been in contact with Brian for many years. And Jeff Hans, who coached Sidney Moss at Thomas More, won the national title. Yep. Sidney, of course, is now the coach here at Wilmington College for the Lady Quakers. Jeff Hans gets the opportunity to go to NKU. Well, guess who they brought in at Thomas More? Brian Neal. Brian's back there now as the head coach. And then the other one is a guy that was with Jerry for years. And you can just tell this guy had the ingredients in him to be a head coach someday. Mark Heffernan. He's the head coach of the ONU Polar Bears. And Jerry, his last year, he was
Mark Heffernan?
Heffernan. Mark Heffernan.
He went to Wilmington College?
Yeah, and he was an assistant. He was an assistant with Jerry for years.
He
at least 8 years or so, maybe 8 or 10 years.
He was also a big actor at Wilmington.
No, not well. You're thinking somebody else.
There is a Mark Heffernan.
It could be. Well, Mark is the head coach now of Ohio Northern, and he brought Jerry on.
Did he work for the Cavs?
I don't think. No, I think you're talking about another guy. This is a guy that's in coaching. Got black hair, younger fella. He's the head coach
How
of the.
How old would he be now?
Oh gosh, I'm not great on ages.
Well, just ballpark.
His 40s probably.
Huh?
Mid-30s, 40s, yeah.
Maybe it's.
You're talking about a guy that did a lot of media
productions. It might
productions.
be Mark Heffernan's son. Maybe it's the same because that's an odd
Possibly.
name. That's an
Possibly.
odd name.
Yep.
Hey, Bill, we're going to take a break.
Yep.
We'll come back and you can carry on.
Now I have one more story after that. One more.
That's fine.
You might want to think twice before putting forth any effort in improving your station in life. Why being all it's cracked up to be turns out not to be all it's cracked up to be.
Just ask the Liberty Bell.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Made up news you didn't know you needed to know, including all the latest real news about what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in Wilmington, Ohio.
With the Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel with a new news report every Monday morning.
On a somewhat related note, Amanda, in my youth, I was once referred to as all that and a bag of chips.
I imagine nowadays you're referred to as all that and an extra large bag of chips. Fried in lard.
Absolutely. The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Who says living with labels is a bad thing? Especially bright, easy to read labels with a large font.
when one man's drinking fountain is another man's bidet.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
All the pretend news to fill your day.
Trust your most unreliable source.
The Murphy Report. Made up stories almost like these and real stories on what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
Every Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
You know, Amanda, I label just about everything in my house, even my clothes, even my shoes. One shoe I have labeled R, and the other shoe I have labeled NR.
NR?
Not right.
You're not right.
The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal. Sundays, 5 to 8, with your host, Dr. Jeffrey. Let me play with your feet, Schuessler.
Oh, jeez.
And Sarah. Wait till you see what I can do with a hot dog. Fife. There we go.
Oh, jeez.
Sundays, 5 to 8.
Oh, Charlie.
Live. When we get the Raisin Bran. We don't have the Raisin Bran.
Don't have the fiber yet.
No, no fiber yet.
Oh.
Somebody walking by outside? No. Yep. Oh, yeah. She's
We're going to have to send out a search party for Marty, get him over here. He's probably over there at the school with the
Yeah,
seniors.
getting ready for
He
everything.
forgot about you, Bill. You see where we rate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what,
we'll get him next
graduation
week,
tonight or
maybe. Tonight, yep,
It's
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Be up on the dais.
The guy that came in, just real quick, I didn't mean to be rude there, but he's doing a little car show out at Maple Grove Campground here in a couple weeks. Try to have him on the show, talk about the campground a little bit, and plus the car show. It's 1 to 4.
Is that
One
the
to
one
four.
off Prairie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one off Prairie. So, and we got some other stuff we'll talk about car-wise. But Bill, I don't want to interrupt. What
No,
we got
you're
next?
fine. I do want to say something because it meant a lot to me when I had a chance to do some coaching. Yeah, call me crazy. 2017, I'm talking with Miles Burton, who had gotten the job at Hillsboro. And, of course, that's Rick Burton's son. And he met with me down at Hillsboro.
Bland.
Yeah, from Blanchester. And they basically, a whole new staff coming in. So Rick said to him, call Bill Lehrman. Talk to Bill. He said he might know of some people. He says, maybe Bill even wants to coach. So I talked to, we had the conversation. And of course, then he did offer me a job to come on as a volunteer. I said, I don't want any money for it. I'll help you out with camp and we'll see how it goes.
Assistant?
Well, it gets even better. Yeah, I was varsity assistant. I was the acting head coach when Miles came down with his appendicitis during the during summer camp. Me and Clyde Snow ran the camp that year. But I owe a lot to 4 people. Jerry Sheevey, Mike Noska, my coach, Pat Hines, and Pat, of course, interacted with Rick, and that helped a lot, and Rob Buechler from down at Eastern Brown. I figured those 4 guys would know if I have the qualities of what it takes to be a coach. And I got to say this, each and every one of them were very supportive. Jerry even said, Billy, he says, listen, he says, you've seen me coach on the sidelines. You know about the game. He says, you can do this. I, kind of pondered whether or not I would be able to do it. Had a little bit of a job issue, down there at Hague's, and I had to make a tough decision because it was taking up a lot of my time, but I took my PTO time to help run the camp. But I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I told Jerry, you don't know what this means to me, but he says, Bill, listen, I've seen you interact. You know a lot about the game. I've talked with you. And he says, I think you'll do a nice job, and I really appreciate that. We lost a very good area coach who has ties to Clinton County also, and I guess I can talk about these things because how do I remember all this? I lived it. John Hopkins. I've called the FAVC back during the 70s the cradle of coaches. Goes back to my days with Chick Ludwig at the Western Star, and I kind of was his chaperone when he came in to be the sports editor. We get in my car, 64 Chevy Impala, and we go to all these different schools, and I'm introducing him to all these coaches. We had John Hopkins at Mason, who was a Clinton County native. He played at Simon Kenton. Pat Hines was at Little Miami. Harry Hall was at Springboro. Butch Hooper had left Waynesville, and Dave Liffick had taken over at Waynesville. We had Bill Newland was coach at East Clinton, as I said earlier, and Clinton Massey had Bob Patton, and later was succeeded by Jim Boyd. All of those men I mentioned were very successful in what they did. Harry did a great job as the coach at Springboro and later became a basketball official for many years before he retired, and he passed on about 3 years ago. My guy, Pat Hines, I wasn't good enough to play for Pat, but I did a lot of other things for him, and you know what I've been able to accomplish as of today, and I appreciate everything that Pat did for me. He saw a lot of things in me, and I appreciated that. But John Hopkins, Pat Hines, Harry Hall, those three, I'm telling you what, there were some real battles back then in 74, 75, and 76, and it's always those three schools competing for the league title. John's been having some health problems lately, and I think it was battling Parkinson's and so forth, and I remember seeing him a lot when Wilmington was having their run for the state championship back in 2016 and 2017. And some of you may not know this too, but he actually succeeded Bobby Joe Hooper when Bobby left Clinton Massey and got full-time into the ministry. And he was the head coach at Clinton Massey for a couple of years and did a nice job. But he was an agent with State Farm Insurance. And there was a little bit of a rub about him signing a coaching contract and also working for State Farm. So John left after his second year. But I often thought, boy, John Hopkins, if he could come here to Wilmington, he would bring a strong winning tradition. Players he coached at Mason back then, he had a real good shooter from the outside by the name of Keith Abney. This kid could just light it up from all over the floor. He had Jeff Bentley, who was their leading scorer, played for Gail Catlett at UC when Gail took the coaching job at UC after Tay Baker. And he had a guy by the name of, we know him as Dan Patrick. His name was Danny Pugh. And I'll tell you what, John Hopkins had Mason going. He had Mason basketball going really well, and then was succeeded by Gary Popplewell and then Greg Richards, who's a product of Wilmington College. Those three coaches built a strong winning tradition of Mason High School. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the family of John Hopkins. Cheryl's his sister, Cheryl Borton, Cheryl Sollers, and so forth. And she called me a while back, about a month ago, and she said, Bill, John's not doing good. And Carmen, his wife's also battling health problems. So as I shared with Chick Ludwig, it's like your mortality is catching up with you. We see all these coaches that we worked with that have passed on. Jim Vandegrift, legendary football coach at Lebanon. I mentioned John. I mentioned Harry Hall. You know, each day you wake up and put your feet on the ground, you're so fortunate. But it's the relationships you build with people. And that's what I look at. And he and I have talked about this the other day, Chick and I did, it's just seeing these people and just trying to help them as they educate. We've talked about you as a teacher, Charlie. That's the biggest thing. You were great as a band instructor, but look what you did in your job as a teacher, molding young people to be good, mature adults and give back to society. At the end of the day, when you do that, you've accomplished everything that you were hired to do. Oh, yeah. And you've done a great job with the students that you've had, too. I mean that sincerely. But thoughts and prayers go out to the family of John Hopkins and, of course, to Jerry Sheeby. Yeah, we all know I cry a lot. I held up pretty good for a few days, and it hit me all at once about Jerry, because Jerry just meant so much to me personally. And, my career, like I said, Bill Ramsire and Jerry Sheeby, they helped me fulfill a dream. I want to talk also about Dave Walker. Yesterday was Dave's birthday. The manager that hired me at WKFI when I was a brash kid out of high school, 19 years old. I went to a broadcasting school in Cincinnati. Jim LaBarbera was one of my instructors, and I called Dave. Back then, of course, you didn't send out resumes or do anything online. So I called the radio station, 937-382-1608, and I told him who I was. And I says, I want to talk to the station manager. I've got my radio license. I want a job in radio. Lady, her name was Jeannie Brown. She said, Bill, hold on a second. I think Dave is needing somebody. Let me have him talk to you. And so we talked, and I came up and saw Dave, and we battled over $10 a week. He offered me $100, and I said, well, Mr. Walker, I'm trying to pay back this loan from my father for this broadcasting school. It's $1,800. I says, can you at least give me $120? He says, we'll split the difference. I'll pay you $110 a week. That's how bad I wanted a job in radio, and that's how it all started for me at WKFI. I owe a lot to Dave Walker, a man that took a chance on me. And I was shy about the aspect of getting out and speaking. And we had, not now.
Wait a minute. Ding, 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 ding.
Not now. But back then I was. And we started the 3C Toastmasters Club. We had people from Sabina, Washington Courthouse, and all over. And you know what? It was those kind of things that helped bring out those abilities in me to speak. Now, I can go over here and lecture at St. Columbkill Church. But and I can talk in a studio, talking into a microphone like this, but sometimes when you're standing up talking to people, it's tough.
Face to face. Face
to face, exactly. But two people that helped me a lot, Dave Walker and also, of course, EJ, and I'll talk about Ed Johnson another day also. But, Dave, I owe a lot of my success to him for giving me the chance. I worked for two good managers at the radio station, each different in their own way, Dave Walker and Rick Johnston. If people have seen Rick Johnston, he used to have a good head of hair. Bill Learman's probably the reason he's only got a stubble now. I used to drive that man nuts. But I loved both of them. I tell you what, I owe so much to them, Dave and also Rick.
Rick's a heck of a musician.
He really is. He is so talented. And as I've said before, too, I think it's something Chuck said about me. Chuck Dowler once, he said, Learman, I hear you're a pretty good judge of talent. So I think, as I look back, some of the people I had a little bit of hand in hiring at the radio station, we talk about Bill Wills, and we talk about, I didn't have anything to do with Rob Osborne, but I really did like Rob a lot. But I brought in Matt Sexton and, of course, Jeff Hibbs, because I wanted to get more into programming, and my goal eventually was to either own that station or me and Bill, I had an idea. We was going to try to buy the station if it ever went up for sale, but we didn't get a chance. But I'll tell you what, Jeff Hibbs, I think about Jeff a lot. And sometimes it's tough to go down Antioch Road.
Yeah,
it really is. It's like when the station sold, I couldn't drive down Nelson Avenue. It was pile of mode.
Took your soul.
I drive by there. I mean, I was the last one out of the building. I signed all the paperwork and handed over the keys to the new ownership group. And, but there's a lot of good, happy memories there. But it all goes back to Dave Walker giving me that opportunity. And I worked my tail off for $110 a week.
There you go.
Happy anniversary, Deanna.
How about that? And happy anniversary, Deanna. I had to marry somebody that likes sports. There's no doubt about it. The only problem was she wasn't a farm girl. Dad didn't like that too well, but hey, what can I say? They accepted her. Yep.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back, and it's the birthday time.
Okay.
Local birthdays, and we'll play the games.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the game is actually over before you storm the court. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Nursery rhyme historians uncover the truth about Jack and Jill.
There was no hill to climb, and new clues cast doubt on there ever being a pail. What could be next? The tortoise and the hare living together?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. The nursery rhymes may be made up, but the only thing made up here is the news.
That's right, Steve. On the Murphy Report. With a new report every week beginning Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Hard-hitting, cutting-edge, and a third less fulfilling.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
A combined 415 years in the news business.
It's made-up news you can count on to get you through your day.
And put you to sleep at night, just like me with my warm milk and cookies. And a plethora of heart-related medications.
Plus all the real news on what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
That's on the Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
What?
Hey.
Let's get personal.
Personal.
Let's get personal. Personal. Sundays 5 to 8 with Jeffrey Hot Dog King Schuessler and Sarah Play Me Like a Piccolo 5. I'll be nice this time. Straightening out all the troubled youth problems. I can save that man. I can save that man. That's the girls' anthem anymore for the bad boys. I can save that man. Then he goes to jail. I couldn't save that man. I couldn't save him. Yeah, we just have a nice life. We'll move on. All right, birthdays today. First of all, once again,
Happy birthday to you.
Bill
I'll
and
stop
Deanne
right there.
Lehrman's happy anniversary, 44 years.
Thank you.
The woman is
Give
a
her the
saint.
medal. She is.
We talked about the list earlier this week. I'd love to know her list.
Oh.
If you ever get a disease that they say you're going to die. Who's your list?
Oh, boy.
Lori Milburn's her birthday today. Mark Wiswell. John Huffer Cocoa Puffer from Greenfield, his birthday today. Hannah Ferguson. Rich
Yes.
Venup. Rich Venup, his
Oh, no,
birthday.
Rich. Happy birthday, bud.
Yeah, Scott Keller. He used to be the football coach down at Huntington and at Westfall. Tony Gibson. Rodney Morford's his birthday today. Katrina, and the Waves Butcher.
Always remember her birthday. You know why? It's our anniversary. That's right. Happy birthday, Katrina.
Terry Quallen Sandoval. Also, do you guys have any birthdays you want to add?
Simon Hayes, Wilmington College. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, bud. I ain't going to race him around the track. I'll be bringing up the rear.
He runs the 5 and
Oh, yes. Let's see who else.
geez.
Brandon Farley, assistant coach for the Quakers. It's his birthday today. I mentioned my radio mentor yesterday, the guy who gave me my first break, Dave Walker. Not sure Dave's age, but I'll tell you what. It's been a life well lived for David. Russell David Walker. Happy B-Day.
There you go. All right, we have some celebrity birthdays. Are we ready to guess?
Let's go for it.
Jewel, the singer Jewel. How old is Jewel today?
30.
It's lower than 69.
Deanna, give me a shout out. I need your help.
I need, let's go with 36.
36, higher. Wow, what a range.
Whoa.
36.
41.
Higher than 41.
46.
Higher than 46.
52.
Just a little bit high.
51.
There
Yep.
you go.
Bill had to think about it. See, he's going,
Yeah.
He held his finger
He
up.
said,
Yeah, uh-huh.
Plus one or minus one?
Joan Collins, actors.
Oh,
Dynasty,
yeah,
yes.
Dynasty, one of
Yeah.
Dee's favorite
She's-
shows. Deanna, how old is she?
She's old.
74.
Oh, higher.
Higher than that. I'm going to go 87.
Higher.
Wow.
89.
Higher.
Good Lord.
92.
92. Ding, 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 ding. 92.
Wow.
Football player, Aaron Donald. Still plays, so he's not that old.
Defensive tackle.
Aaron Donald.
Let's go with 31.
Higher than 31.
33.
Just a little bit higher.
34.
34. There you go. The Attorney General, former Attorney General Bill Barr.
70s?
Yeah, he's in the 70s.
74. 74.
74 is just a little bit low.
75.
75. There you go. Drew Carey.
Ooh.
Oh, the price is right.
Price is right.
Well, he's looking old too.
Yeah, oh yeah,
He's looking really old.
he lost a lot of weight when he went to the Price is Right, whether it was mandatory or
68?
68 is just a little bit high.
67.
67, that's right.
He looks older than that.
Yes.
The great Detroit Free Press author, sports writer,
Mitch Albom.
Mitch Albom's birthday today.
Ooh, 57?
Higher,
62.
higher,
73.
lower,
70.
lower,
69.
lower.
67.
67.
I figured he was younger than me.
Same age as Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Melissa McBride. She's in The Walking Dead, Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah.
What was her character?
I don't know. She's. I'm giving you the show she's on. Stop it.
She's probably 61.
I did good to give you that much. I felt 61 is just a little bit high.
Well, then it must be 60.
Yep.
60 is it.
She had to be in there somewhere.
By the way, our word of the day is passe. Passe.
Passe.
Passe.
Passe.
It means outdated or no longer fashionable, like a semicolon. Semicolons are only being used half as much as they were used to be. The penny is passe. It's being all used up.
Poor Abe Lincoln.
Yep.
All right.
Start hoarding your pennies, folks.
Now we've got the chain connection. So, Bill,
I got tons of them.
you got your
So do I.
choice of Rick, Jerry, or Rick Morton.
I'll go Jerry.
Jerry, everybody picks Jerry.
Well, Jerry's
He's sitting right here beside. Jerry will be my right hand man because he'll have more of the answers than I will.
That's-
I'm
Okay.
going to keep quiet.
Rick Morton.
Well, you'll give us plenty of answers for our team.
Rick Morton.
Yes.
You want to go first,
Gag order.
or do you want to pick your column?
We'll go first.
Okay, Bill Learman. What column do you want?
A.
A. Okay. So Rick and Rick squared
No,
is
jeez.
going first in
Yeah.
column B.
Winning combination.
I'll
Yeah,
say
sounds
this
like it.
again so it won't happen. Either one of these could be run. Ready?
Oh, they could. Okay, you get the first one, you can run the whole
you
thing.
can run them, I think. All right, here we go. Gold F.
Gold F.
Yeah,
Is it F?
F.
F is in Frank.
Finger.
Oh, the movie Goldfinger, yeah.
That's a good-
Is it our
Yeah.
word?
that's
Yeah.
Rick and Rick, yeah.
what it is, I'll bet you. I'm trying to throw it.
Gold finger.
Why not?
Yeah, might as well go.
I don't have anything else.
No.
to think of.
So you're going with finger?
Yeah.
Eh. All right. Oh, look at these guys.
You can't out evil the evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I was learning while I was back there.
Well, that's what Bill did the first time he played. He kept giving the wrong answers there, everybody. All right, here we go. Jerry and Bill. Cash M.
Cash money.
Okay. You all right with that?
Yeah.
Cash money.
That's right.
Oh! Blind luck.
Thanks, Rick.
Money,
Blind luck.
Do you see where it's coming?
money T.
Money talks.
Yep.
Okay.
Money talks.
Oh, come
All right.
on.
They shot themselves in the foot.
Going back to Rick squared. Gold F-I.
Gold F-I.
Yes. I guess Rachel could play the part of the evil emperor. She could help either team.
She's not evil enough.
Gold F-I?
Gold, if you got something that you can throw in if you want to help.
Gold F-I would
You got to ask her, oh, evil empress, can you help us?
You know, Rachel?
No, I don't know that one.
You do, I bet.
Gold filling.
Gold filling?
Yeah,
You going to go with filling?
you might as well. Sounds good.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. Back to you guys. You got cash money. Money, TR.
Money tree.
You are money tree. I don't know.
Yeah, money tree or money trail. Money tree.
Probably a tree sounds better than trail.
Money tree.
Yeah.
Money tree
Branches.
is correct.
Ah.
Hey, thank you, Rick.
Okay.
Tree F.
Tree filling.
Tree farm, tree trunk, or tree F.
Tree F.
Tree
yeah.
farm.
Tree F. Tree farm, tree.
Tree farm. Yeah.
All right. Gold FIS.
Goldfish.
Goldfish.
There you
Oh
go.
my God, that's like pulling teeth.
Yes.
What's
Fish.
funny is Bill said it right off the bat.
I kept my mouth shut though.
Well, Rachel said it too, I think. Fish F.
Fish farm.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
you.
glad this is the easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they could both be run.
Yeah.
They could be.
We ain't run nothing.
Well, you guys can run all
Okay,
you want.
guys
I'll
got
just be rolling
cash
behind
money,
you.
You got money, tree FR.
Tree FR. Tree FR. Tree.
I'm not helping.
He knows what it is, though. Do you know what it is? Tree FR?
I'm drawing blank on that.
Good. You see this?
It's got the countdown on it.
I'll give him the
Oh,
count.
minute 55. Okay, great. Let's see. What can we come up with?
Yes.
Tree FR.
Guess.
Tree FR.
Wow.
Match game PM.
5, 4.
Tree frog.
Tree frog is right.
Ah! All right. Good job.
Frog L.
Frog leg.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah.
They do have legs.
Frog leg is correct. This one's a little bit of a stretch.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm redeeming myself.
Leg H. This one's a little bit of a stretch, I'll tell you. Yeah, this one is.
Stretch your legs. Yeah.
Stretch is the key word.
No, leg H.
Leg
Charlie.
H.
Let me give them some grief.
Okay, that's fine.
Tree. What? Tree.
You had tree frog,
Yeah.
frog leg, now leg H.
Leg H.
Leg hugger.
Oh, jeez.
Did
5,
you start the countdown?
4,
I'm blank on this one.
3,
Leg
2.
hip.
Leg what?
Yep.
Eh.
Phones connected
All right,
to
so
Yeah.
you guys got goldfish.
Yes.
That was it. Fish FR. Rick Morton, you
Fish
should.
fry.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should get this.
I thought right when you said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fry P.
Potato.
Fried potato? It's fry, isn't it?
Is it?
Fry, F-R-Y.
Okay, no, that's not potato.
PD, it's fried.
Yeah.
Fry pea.
Fry P. What? She said.
She said pan, fried pan.
I would, but it'd probably be frying.
Frying pan, that's what I.
Fry pan, is that what you want?
Why not?
Yeah, sounds good.
Fry pan is right.
Really?
The evil empress helped you.
Rachel has wielded one
Yes.
times.
Pan H. Yeah.
Panhandle?
Go with it.
Okay.
Jerry, quit that.
Panhandle?
Yeah.
Yes, panhandle is right.
Okay.
Handle B.
Bar? Handlebar?
Handlebar. All right. Here we go for the win. I told you you could run this once you got going.
Yeah, I
Bar
thought 6 times.
C.
What is it?
Oh, that
Bar
was easy.
C.
Bar C.
There goes our
Wilmington
display.
College sign, yeah.
Now we don't support Wilmington College.
See, I had
Bar C.
Bar C.
back in my days
Hey,
of
they don't know it.
softball.
They don't know it yet.
Bill Learman gets ejected. He threw his hat.
He's out. You're out of here.
Yeah.
Nelson did that once.
Oh, yeah. You know.
Bar chair? I don't. No, then I was thinking bar. I'm thinking more of a bar stool, but bar C.
Bar C. I'll give you the clock. 5,
What else is with a bar?
4, 3,
I have no idea.
2,
Say it.
1.
Go with chair.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You guys, your cash money, money tree, tree frog,
Leg.
frog leg, then leg HA.
That's very helpful.
Leg H-A.
I
What
told you
the
this was a
heck?
little bit of a stretch. Leg HA.
Wow. Leg H-A.
Maybe it's hamstring, since it's a stretch.
Where did you come up with this?
Leg
And
HA.
somebody finally agrees with me.
Yeah.
What?
Leg H-A.
I just copy these down. I don't make these up.
Don't shoot the
Leg
messenger.
H.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Leg H-A.
Crossing my eyes on that one, dude.
Oh, Evil Empress. What you got over there?
Leg HA.
She doesn't.
H-A.
It makes sense, but it is a little bit of a
One more
stretch.
letter, we ought to be able to close.
Yeah.
Leg H-A.
Pressure's on.
5,
Leg.
4,
Leg hand? I don't know.
3,
What the heck? Oh.
2,
I like the look on Jerry's face.
I
1.
have no idea.
All right, here we go. Bar C O. No, C-O. Not C-R, C-O.
Barcode.
Yes,
Barcode?
that's it.
These guys knew it last time. When Bill threw his hat, he knew it.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I automatically went to the bar
Swear
C.
gets it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I protest. I protest.
Throw out that leg thing again.
Yeah.
Leg H-A-I.
Oh, I know what it is. I
What?
knew what it was last time.
Yeah, leg H. You got it.
What the hell is it?
Everybody's got it.
Because you guys won.
Like
What
hair
is it?
brush.
I'm going to say leg hair.
Leg hair.
What the hell?
Leg hair.
That's
Now
the
you got to say two more Hail Marys.
That's the
hair.
that's the first.
All over
Yeah.
Well, when he said
Jerry should know
stretch,
that.
and it's like HA, it's got to be leg hair.
That is a stretch.
It is.
So close.
Hair.
So
Okay,
far.
but wait a minute. They still have one left.
Hell, it could be hair anywhere on me.
Hair S.
Hair
Spray.
S.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
Hair S.
yeah.
shampoo.
Ah.
Oh,
Ooh.
It'd be too complicated.
hair S. Hair.
I don't want to give you a second letter. It's going to give it away.
Yeah.
I'll let you guess a couple more.
Hairstyle.
Hairstyle. Yeah, that's it right there. That's how close you were.
I wasn't very close now.
Hair and hairstyle.
Another runner high.
Yeah. Like I said, he said we could run with you. You guys can run. I'm just going to roll
Yeah,
behind you.
run.
Yeah, we're on the
We're
same.
about 5 minutes late for the break, so they'll recoup from that action.
We gotta find Bill's hat.
I protest. I
We'll be
protest.
back in a minute.
We gotta find Bill's
It's an
hat.
effort to warn wild weather worrywart, a new initiative coming before Congress to force thunder to roll before lightning strikes.
A shocking proposition that is sure to spark some debate, with a 70% chance of failure sweeping in overnight from the Dakotas.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Stories we make up just for you, and the latest on what's coming to the Murphy Theater, Ohio's hometown theater, every Monday morning on the Murphy Report.
Find us on the Murphy Theater website and on our own YouTube's channel.
You know, Steve, I was once struck by lightning.
Oh, really? Any after effects?
Yeah, every time I sneeze, my garage door opens.
I had something similar happen to me. Every time I bend over to tie my shoes, I rip my pants.
Oh, from a lightning strike?
Yes.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us. Local religious leaders pondering taking Sundays off.
Holy Toledo Batman, are religious holidays next on the chopping block?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Investigative reporting. It's what we do, sometimes on the Murphy Report.
Nothing is off limits in our newsroom, except baby turtles.
The Murphy Report. A new report every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel.
Amanda, did you know that I once felt I had a calling and gave serious consideration to joining the priesthood?
Oh, I can see that. You seem sincere, spiritual sort of person, not wrapped up in the petty trappings of society, littered with ego and vanity. What made you decide not to do it?
I don't look good in black.
Amen to that. The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to
What's
us.
funny about that chain link is you don't have to spell the whole. You get close to having the word spelled, it gives you the rest of it.
Oh, that's not the way it works. Game on. Speaking of game shows, once we get some fiber, some
Sooner or
bran
later.
flakes, we'll be ready to go. And that's going to be maybe a different game a day.
We could even actually do a game between cities. When we
Oh.
do Wake Up Washington Courthouse.
Oh,
there you go.
geez.
We play Wake Up Wilmington. We could do some of these in the morning where we'd actually play games against each
Well,
other.
you know what? Being in Sabina, I could bounce between the two.
You could go
I,
both,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yep, I could bounce between the two.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
when are you starting the one in courthouse?
Well, it depends on the fiber.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where's it going to be at?
Where's what?
The boy kept courthouse.
Don't
What if they
know.
come?
Talk to Brian over at the Rusty Cave.
Okay.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh yeah.
That's another place that we do some of our sports shows.
I do know the Fayette County Commissioners are interested.
Good. They got a new one too, don't they? One of the guys is new.
I don't know.
Former Mayor of
Well, I
Jeffersonville.
mean, most everybody's from East Clinton, so
Yeah.
one way or another, it's fairly easy to go either direction.
Right.
We could share our people, between those two cities, and then bring in maybe a local known person, like in courthouse,
Yeah.
to help.
Marky, Uncle Punky.
I don't know if he's that known.
Yeah, he is. His wife runs that men's homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Plus, he works for the county, remember?
I know he's a
Weights and measures guy. But he always has his arm in a cast.
So he checks the gas pumps.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
one of the things.
Yeah.
They check everything. They'll check to make sure your meat is what you say it weighs.
He ain't checking
No
my
liars. No liars there.
meat. No, he ain't selling me that
He told
one.
me they didn't have a steel big enough for me. It exceeds all.
Oh gee.
Aren't you glad you stayed longer?
I'm just sitting here taking it
All the
all
more
in.
reason Bill says, wait a minute, I can't miss mass.
Yeah, exactly.
Not today.
Too late now.
Oh, let's go give Bill my little quiz from yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's hear this.
Let's see.
Yeah.
if
Let's
he-
see what we
Let's see
got.
if
Let's
I'm
see
on
what
the
I
ball
can.
Rick Morton, did you watch yesterday?
No.
So Rick Morton and Bill can play this. We'll see if you do better than Travis.
Oh jeez.
And Rick did better.
Rick was
than
the one who did
Travis.
good on
Yeah.
Oh really? Okay.
All right. NBA champion location. The team name starts with the same letter as the location they're from. Like it'd be like if it was the Wilmington Warriors,
Right.
WW. Okay. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NBA champions that name of the locations starts the same letter as the name of the team.
Cleveland Cavaliers is one.
Cleveland Cavaliers is one, yep. That's, yep. 2016, yep.
Sleepless.
Sleep.
No hints. No hints.
That's Seattle. Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle Supersonics, yeah.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Lakers. Yeah, obviously. Yep.
You got 3. There's 3 left. One, the newer one would be 2014.
Well, Boston's not there.
No,
No.
that's
It's not Boston.
BC.
Yeah.
Right. Be Boston.
Think Texas.
NBA.
Houston Rockets, isn't it?
2020 Lakers. 2019, not 2014. 2019, you haven't got that one. 2016, Cleveland Cavaliers. 1979, Seattle Supersonics.
Coached by Lenny Wilkins. Okay, let's see here.
I got a Lenny Wilkens autographed jersey and a
Really?
Lenny Wilkens 1970 basketball card.
Ward number 19.
And he's the only, I think, member of the NBA Hall of Fame that went in as a player and a coach.
No doubt. Yeah, deservedly so. Did a nice job with Cleveland, too. Player coach with Seattle. Man.
I'm drawn.
Not the Buffalo Braves. They never won the title. They're gone.
No. But you're kind of thinking in the right direction for the last two.
Towards Boston?
No, I mean, just being old.
Older franchises that might not be around.
Well, it wouldn't be the Cincinnati or Kansas City Royals.
Are you sure?
Now Sacramento.
Sacramento.
What?
The Royals were never champions, were
Are
they?
you sure? Where were they before Cincinnati?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
Jack, it's the same letter.
Yeah. It's like San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, there's one. He just told me.
Yeah, Greg
when he
Popovich. He just
when
retired.
Yeah, when he said
Okay,
Texas.
so yeah,
Now, wait a
Los
minute.
Angeles Lakers, San Antonio Spurs, Cleveland Cavaliers, Seattle
Bam, you're right.
Supersonics.
He nailed it. I'll let him say it.
No.
He was here
You ain't
yesterday.
supposed to tell him. I told you.
He was here. He's cheating.
Oh, you said New York. Okay,
Oh.
Rochester
Rochester
Royals.
Royals.
Bingo.
Jack Twyman. I got a Jack Twyman card yesterday.
Ward number 27.
He's a member of the NBA Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Jack Twyman.
Remember him back in the days when he did the NBA games on ABC with Chris Schenkel.
Now, 79 was Seattle
Yep.
Supersonics.
And Lenny Wilkens was the player coach.
But 1978 is another team that fits this moniker.
Washington Wizards, but they were the Washington Bullets.
But they weren't Washington.
Baltimore.
Baltimore
Capital
Bullets.
City, but they played in Landover, Maryland.
Baltimore
yeah.
Bullets. Yep, the Baltimore
K.C.
Bullets.
Jones was the head coach. He'd taken over for Dick Motta.
What's the confusing part.
That's
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Baltimore Bullets.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember the Baltimore Bullets, but and I don't.
Oh,
remember,
I do.
I remember the Washington Bullets.
Right.
You had Earl Monroe. You had
Yep.
Kevin Lockery.
Earl Pearl, yeah.
Yeah, Earl Monroe. Wes Unseld. Like I said, Kevin Lockery.
What was
let's see.
Buffalo's NBA team?
The Braves. They had Bob McAdoo.
Was it the Braves?
Yeah, Jack Ramsey was their coach, who won a title with the Portland Trailblazers.
I think, did they change their name? Was it always the Braves?
The franchise relocated.
But Buffalo, I thought they were called something else.
No.
I just remember watching Bob McAdoo when I was a little kid.
We're number 11.
I liked Bob McAdoo.
Well, I just remember Dr. J and those funky-looking knee braces he wore at the time, or knee supports.
Yeah.
The leather ones
Dr. J was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in
Oh, I
the
have a
day.
question for you. Where did you find that Cincinnati Royals toboggan? That's what
The
I want
hat
to know.
on
The
eBay.
hat.
Yeah.
Really?
I almost wore it today.
I like that old logo. Yeah, that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
That was an old style logo.
Yep. And yeah, eBay, you can get them on there. I only give like $10, $15 for that. It wasn't bad. But it has on the front, it has Chris Webber. And it's when Sacramento Kings wore the Royals.
Throwbacks.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually buy an old Royals, well, it's not old, but you can buy an old Royals shirt, you know.
If you remember, this is kind of neat, unique also. I can remember this. The Royals, they had the script, or let's say not the script writing, that would have been Royals written, but they had the Royals, Royals, the block letters down the
Right.
side. And then on the backs of their uniforms, they had the players' names under the number. Kind of unique. Not many teams did that back then. But the Royals had some good players over the years. I mean,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Think about it.
The Big O.
The Big O and Jerry Lucas, one of my favorites growing up. Guy with big hands. No wonder he got rebounds all the time. Pride of Middletown.
Yep, and
Connie Durkin.
yep.
Johnny
Jack
Green.
Twyman.
Yeah, you said Jack Twyman.
Yep, there's a bunch of them.
Yep.
I might, if I remember, I may bring these cards in. I got some of the old Cincinnati Royals 1970 cards. I sold a bunch of them last week at the card show. And speaking of the card show, next month They have a special guest that's going to be, which you didn't come again.
I know. I'll be there this time. I got too much going on.
Same old song.
I know.
Same old song
It is. And it's even getting crazier now for me for the concerts, the Frays and the Rose and everything going on at the Murphy and everything else going on. So, what day is it going to be in July or in June? I know. Break out my violin, Charlie.
I've got to see what.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
smallest
the mini one.
violin, all right.
Time for a break.
Well, wait a minute. Let me tell you what day it's going to be in June. June 21st, and the special guest is going to be. I'll tell you after the break.
Yeah, let's wait. Matty Gukas was a good.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization, event, or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481, and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
They said it could never happen. They hoped it would never happen, but now the most unpopular vegetable in the soup family is getting her own talk show.
That's right. Coming this fall on the Food Channel, it's The Okra Show.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Celebrity gossip and other stories that matter the most. Plus, what's coming to the Murphy Theater on the weekly edition of The Murphy Report.
It's what we dish up for you. When you hunger and thirst for real journalism, look elsewhere.
But you can find us at themurphytheater.org or the Murphy Theater YouTube channel with a new news report every Monday morning.
You know, Amanda, I used to have my own morning talk show.
Oh, why'd you give it up?
Well, there was a little dispute at the time of my contract renewal.
Oh, what was the disagreement?
Well, I wanted to renew, and they didn't.
What'd they replace you with?
A half-hour infomercial on nail clippers.
When you have to know before anybody else, count on your one source for useless, made-up news, The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. He's the Howard Sprague of his community, a leader of several groups, living with his parents and dating one of the most eligible professional women in town.
But he's in no hurry to settle down and put that ring on her finger. The wait is maddening.
If they both weren't so darn adorable. Could it be nerves?
Or just enjoying the bachelor life a wee bit too much.
America's Couple sits down for an in-depth interview to share how they keep their relationship so fresh while keeping such a safe distance from one another. On The Murphy Report.
I know I can't wait.
But evidently they both can. The Murphy Report with veteran anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
With a new report posted on our Murphy Theater website and YouTube channel every Monday morning.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
I used to
it's
take
news
my
to
little
us.
transistor, put underneath my pillow and listen to Marty and Joe.
Marty and Joe.
Yeah, the Reds. Yep.
Talking about old announcers.
Yep.
And also some NBA players like Bobby Hooper. He played in the ABA.
Yes, he did.
And when did the ABA and NBA join?
It was the early 70s, wasn't it?
72 or 73, I believe, yeah. But, yeah, I remember when Bob was an assistant coach, he worked under Bobby Slick Leonard there with the Indiana Pacers. I was telling the guys during the break, when I wanted to be a radio announcer, you listen to guys to pattern yourself after. And so I listened to, of course, Dom Valentino doing the Royals games on 700 WLW, the big one. And then Bob Lamey did the... Bob Lamey and Joe McConnell both did the Indiana Pacers on WIBC 1070. Jim Durham, who I believe had a brief stop here at KFI at one time, he did the Chicago Bulls on WIND radio. And let's see who else was around. Of course, Johnny Most with the Boston Celtics on WBZ 1030. That was one of my favorites. Him and Joe Tate especially. Skip Carey with the Atlanta Hawks.
The way you get going, I'd have thought you listened to auctioneers rather than.
You know, Billy Earhart recruited me to be an auctioneer once. Yeah, he did. You gonna buy?
Billy Earhart was my dad's favorite auctioneer.
Yep.
Because
Billy's a hoot.
My dad was an antique dealer, so he went to a lot of auctions.
Roger Bennett and Daryl Prickett for years did the auctions here at the Clinton County Fair. I'll tell you what, that was so funny too. When it came to selling a hog or selling the steer, Roger'd say, "All right, boys, I'm gonna put her in the bank. I sold one side, turned it around, I'm gonna sell the other."
Oh, gee.
Roger Bennett, what a hoot. Man, he was a character.
I didn't see any Bobby Hooper playing cards.
I don't believe so, but
Not playing cards, but sports
right,
cards.
yeah, sports cards, yes.
Phil Snow had to be close to going if he hadn't messed his knees up.
Probably so. Yep.
Him and Bobby Hooper battled in high school and then battled in college too,
Yep.
didn't they? Because Phil played for Miami and Bobby played for Dayton, right?
Exactly.
UD.
Yep. Yep.
I remember that a little bit. Who else would be local that maybe has kind of made it? Pat Austin played for Wilmington
College, yeah, and they played for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Kip Young of Morristown, White Oak High School, he played for the Detroit Tigers.
Kip Young.
Yep.
Okay, Bill, who was the running back out of Wilmington College who got drafted by the Bears?
Gary Worthy.
Gary Worthy.
Okay, Worthy. I
played
knew the
for the
last
New
name was
Jersey
number
Generals.
22.
Excuse
Number
me?
22.
New Jersey Generals. Yeah.
Yep.
Kip Young. I think I've got a Gary Worthy.
Boy, I'll tell you what, maybe we can pull that off. If I'm in Hillsborough again, down at Tire Discounters down there, shameless plug, I will go down and see Kip and see if I could get him up here. Dave Walker and I drove up to the old Tiger Stadium to watch Kip pitch. We drove, I think we left Wilmington at like noon on a weekday. It was either a Monday or a Tuesday, if I remember correctly. And we went up there, and I took my tape recorder, of course, obviously, and didn't have MP3 players back in those days. It was just the old-fashioned tape recorders. And let's see, Ralph Houck was the manager for the Tigers back then. Now, Kip later told me Sparky was all about speed, whereas Ralph Houck liked the changeup and the curveball and so forth. But for Sparky, when he became the manager of the Tigers, it did not go well for Kip, and they let him go. But he had a real good time there with the Detroit Tigers when Ralph Houck was the manager. Yep, I do remember that. That was back in '78, I do believe. Yep.
Kip Young. Who else? Anybody else?
Pride of
that's made it
Morristown High
big?
School. Jeff Shaw, of course, Washington
Yeah.
Courthouse.
Yeah.
Don't ask him about Jim Bowden, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Trade him during the All-Star break to Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
You know, you can
Unreal.
tell he's lying, his lips are moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Roger and I did shows up at Donato's Pizza in Washington Courthouse. You know, I used to have the roundtable show out here on Thursdays, and 2 or 3 times a year we'd go up to Courthouse and we'd do the football coach, or we'd have basketball coach on, Gary Schaefer. And so Kip came in there and he says, or not Kip, but Jeff came in and he says, "Lehrman, one thing I'm going to tell you right now, do not bring up the name of Jim Bowden. You will lose your license."
Yep. Old leather pants himself.
That's about right.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Yep.
Of course, we had Garen Varus. He's Chillicothe, right? Garen Varus. Wasn't there a professional football player from Jamestown as well?
Oh, yeah. Was it Quentin Rollins? Or no.
No, Quentin was from
Quentin, of course, was right here in
yeah.
Wilmington, played
Roland
for the Green Bay
James.
Packers.
Was it Roland James? Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Jeff Craycraft talked glowingly about him all the time.
Roland James.
Yep.
Boy,
Yep.
he would really eat this up. If Hibber, Jeff would be good, but I'm telling you what, if Jeff Craycraft were still alive today, he would eat this up. He would love being here.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about a guy that could tell stories. Oh my God. I always called him the Chris Berman of WSWO, that big booming voice. 1 month between us, man, I miss that guy. I tell you what, he was like a brother to me. I really did like Jeff. He was great.
Yeah, Garen Varus, Scott Bales, he played for Chillicothe. The kid from Middletown, second baseman. Trying to think of his name right offhand.
Boy, I'm drawing a blank now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a kid from Middletown.
Oh, no. You're not thinking of, he played first base. This
I
guy
can
played.
picture his card, but I can't picture him.
I was thinking of, he played for the Cubs for years, and he was with the Phillies out of Middletown.
Schwarber.
Yes.
You know he's from Middletown.
Yes.
You notice how I said that. You know he's from Middletown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the moniker they always used on him. Yeah, he's from Middletown.
Scott something for the other guy. I don't think he ever made it, but he, like when they had the rookie cards, he was like a rated rookie.
Oh,
I thought,
like a rising rookie star or something.
I thought he was going to be something, but he never. Of course, Mike Schmidt.
Dayton, Ohio. Yep.
Yeah, he's really good.
Michael Jack Schmidt.
Ohio University.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Played at high U. You think of any other local people? The reason I'm asking, I like when I buy baseball cards or when people come to like my booth when I have it up, I like telling people, well, you realize this guy played at Wilmington College.
Yeah.
This guy was from Jamestown. This guy was from Chillicothe.
The local.
I like doing it.
Yeah.
And it's neat because they go, really?
Get the conversation started.
Gary Trent,
And a boy from Southbridge played for the Bengals.
Quentin Rollins.
Messed up his knee.
Oh,
That's Gary Williams.
Gary Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Doug Ziegler had a tryout with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, he played with the Manning boy down in Mississippi State.
They were roommates together. Yeah, there's a good trivia question. Who was Eli Manning's roommate in college at Ole Miss? Doug Ziegler.
Yeah, great tight end.
My insurance guy. Yep. There's a guy from Dayton area, pitched for the San Diego Padres, but the name escapes me right now. I cannot place the guy's name.
Wasn't Eric Chow.
No, it wasn't Eric. No. And he played for the Dayton Dragons, too, but he got drafted by the San Diego Padres. He gave up 41.92.
Yeah, gave up Pete Rose's hit.
Yep.
So.
He never talks about it, though.
No.
He's part of history, though.
Yeah.
What do you think,
He just
Bill?
sat on the mound. He just sat on the mound.
And watched.
You think he's going to go in the Hall of Fame now?
It all depends upon that group. He's got to go through 2 different votes, is my understanding. There's a Veterans Committee.
Yep.
That's like a pre-selection committee. They will vet them, whether or not they're worthy of it being inducted. And then it goes to that 15-member board, and you have to get 75%. So that would mean 12 out of 15. Easier said than done. If you get 3 of them if you get 3 or 4 that disagree, it
Just
won't
some
happen.
diehards who won't. Well, it's just like with the tush push.
You're right.
You know.
Tim Kirchian is one of the members on that committee, and I think Joe Torre might even be on that committee as well. But for the life of me, I'm going to bring this up, and I don't know how the rest of you feel, but we talked about Sweet Lou. Tell me why Lou Piniella is not worthy of being in the Hall of Fame. I don't understand that.
No, he shouldn't.
That one really upsets me. Lou deserves it.
Base abuse.
Yeah. Well, that's,
Lloyd McClendon did the same thing.
Well, McClendon took his home to the dugout, and Lucius threw his out in right field.
That was even funnier than Lou's.
Yeah, just going to take second base, and I'll take it home with me. And Lou just threw first base. I was at that game when he did it. All of a sudden, out in left field, and it was funny.
You know,
Watching him pick that up,
I
throw
didn't
it down.
complete that story about the time I got thrown out at Blanchester. I was so mad at Nelson over that call at third base. That's what it was. It was an out call at third base. I kicked third base and practically fell backwards. It was so comical. The rest of the guys over there on the side, they're watching me, and they said, "Learman, are you wanting to audition for America's Funniest Videos?" I did. I came running over to Nelson. "You blew the call!" And I kicked that base. I about fell backwards.
oh, geez.
Were those bases? Those were the bases. The
I was a little Dave Bristol back then. Remember how Dave Bristol used to get on the umpires?
Yep.
I get right in his face.
Would you put Lou Piniella in as a player or a manager?
I think really deserves it as both, but primarily as manager, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Led the Reds to a World's title his first year here.
Yeah.
Couldn't manage for George Steinbrenner in New York. Really?
Yeah, I mean, go sweep it, wire to wire.
Wire to wire.
Yep.
Beat the Oakland A's. As I said, one of the best moves he made, hiring Jackie Moore as the bench coach, the guy that knew all the ins and outs of the Oakland A's. There had to be a reason why. And credit Murray Cook, too, because Murray made the big, bold move. It was not popular at the time in Cincinnati to trade Dave Parker, but he traded Dave Parker to Oakland for Jose Rijo and who else? Tim Burtsis, a reliever that was pretty decent. You know, he could come in there and get an out every now and then, set it up for the Nasty Boys. He was a setup guy. But Jose Rijo was the star of that World Series.
Yeah, he won 2 games, didn't he?
Yeah,
exactly.
I almost thought Sabo was going to get it when he hit 2 home runs in Game 4.
Right.
So who's the special guest
I was
coming to
gonna
the card
say,
party?
I put that teaser
Oh, yeah,
out there.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't even
I'm sorry.
bite on it.
Well-
Yeah, that's funny.
I knew you were talking about a former Reds ball player maybe coming out.
Yes.
George Foster.
Is it
who
Foster?
is.
Great.
George Foster is going to be at the next show.
That's
So
good.
That'll be really interesting.
Yeah. Traded, let's see, what was it, May? It was something like in May of 1971, and they traded Vern Geichert and Frank Duffy. Duffy had no place to play. He came up as a shortstop. They had no spot for him because, of course, they had Dave Concepcion.
Yep.
So, you know, somebody had to go, and they get Foster in there, and what was it, in 75? Or
Well, he talked about that on
52 hits, or 52 home runs.
Well, he talked about the, I was down there at Pete Rose night, and of course, Marty there was Eric, Larkin, and Foster were all there on the panel.
Yeah.
And they were talking about Pete, and Foster said, well, Pete graciously gave up left field so I could play, and he went to third base, and he said that's when everything just clicked.
That's right. That was the move.
Yep.
That was the move that
Bob
started.
Howsam was livid. He called Sparky up, I guess, or actually he called Chief Bender, who was director of player personnel. And then Chief was who he reported to, and then Sparky reported to Chief Bender. That was the way they had it set up. And he says, what is this I see about Rose playing third base? The move paid off.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, they also, the scoreboard stumper that night, Bill, was Rose played 5 All-Star games at 5 different positions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, think about that. That's true. Third base, second base, left field, right field, and
First base, yeah.
Yeah.
He played them all, yeah.
Exactly.
So it was pretty cool that night. I mean, that was worse. It was worse getting into that game than it was opening day.
Oh, I bet.
Because Steph and I got down there about 3 or so, thinking I was going to be able to park underneath the stadium with a handicap where I always park. Now, they already sold out the parking garage because people.
So where'd you park?
I went 1.5 blocks west, had to park underneath the Freedom Center, come back up and go 2 blocks east to get to the stadium. We ate at the Yard House and came out about 10 till 6 thinking it was supposed to be, I knew it was crowded, but the gates were going to open up at 5:45.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, we get there 6:10 or 5:50, 6 o'clock out of the restaurant. We should be able. It'd be a line to get in. It was a madhouse. I mean, they had I don't know why, but they had a single line coming all the way west on Freedom Way, backed up onto the sidewalk back to the stadium. But the stadium gates on the Freedom Way to get in was completely madhouse. We got in, got our seats, and saw the last 15 or 20 minutes of the Q&A with Marty and the guys. But there were people who never even got in before the game started.
Wow.
But I mean, they had 6 people scanning everybody, handing out everything. So I don't know what was going on, but they should have opened up the gates at 5 o'clock.
You know, remember when the fans used to vote for the All-Star team?
Oh, yeah.
And I think in 76, I saw a film clip last night of this. They were introducing the starting lineup for the National League. Yeah, Pete Rose got voted in, George Foster got voted in, Johnny Bench, and also Dave Concepcion, one of the few times that he beat out Ozzie Smith.
Yes, and that was the year he wore the white shoes when the Reds had to wear black shoes all year long, and he busted out the white shoes for the All-Star game.
Yep.
It's
Amazing.
time to take a break. We'll be back and close things up.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization, event, or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Forget the clown princes of basketball, the Harlem Globetrotters. There's a new all-star, family-friendly comedy polo team taking the sporting entertainment world by storm. The Equine Trots.
Bringing their highfalutin, high-kicking, mallet-swinging, horsey hijinks to an equestrian center near you.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. Made up stories just like these.
As well as real news about what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
On the Murphy Report. News the way it's meant to be delivered.
In less than 30 minutes, or it's free.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
Amanda, my buddy Sam was recently tossed from his own horsey all the way across the arena. Landed in a soft bale of hay right next to another horse that was already asleep.
Oh my, that sounds dangerous. What's his condition?
Stable.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
Cincinnati lost. Cincinnati moved down 50 points and best place to live.
Let's get personal.
Let's get
personal.
Sunday nights, 5 to 8. Check it out with your host.
Who's the host?
Who's the host?
Jeffrey, the hot dog, King Schuessler, and Sarah, the queen, play me like a piccolo fife.
Now, is he a nationally syndicated?
Nationally syndicated
Jeff Schuessler?
toast.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's what he had on stage.
Nationally syndicated talk show.
Attention to it. He took it off.
Oh.
What do they call foot doctors?
Podiatrist?
That's it. Yeah, right. I
Do
couldn't
you
think
need a
of it.
good podiatrist? Because he's good.
I might. I'm telling you, my legs, my feet are here
I'm gonna
lately.
tell you
I
now,
might need that.
He don't take insurance, but it's like,
What?
well, listen to me.
No.
It's $135, but you're going to get my feet haven't been the same since I went there. And I went there like 6 months ago. I mean, he gives you a foot massage, does all this stuff. I mean, and it's worth it. I'm telling you. If you've never been to one.
Did he suck on your toes?
He did not suck on my toes.
Hold on here.
Oh,
just a minute.
Or
jeez.
anything else.
Now see,
A fetish. Foot fetish.
Wasn't it,
He's a foot puffer.
I put my foot in my mouth. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Didn't you say he was nationally acclaimed, but Sarah said she was internationally acclaimed?
Yeah.
You know what it was?
Yeah. That's what I said last night. Because Marky Michael, he says he's the national fishing
He did that after
correspondent.
we talked about Schuessler. He's a
I said, I'm just going to be the international man of mystery.
And I got one more birthday.
Yeah, whose birthday is it?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's one of my granddaughters.
What's her name?
Tegan Landon.
Tegan Landon?
Happy birthday.
It's just, I don't know. It's just been Landon. I can't remember. I can't remember how old I am. I have to look at my driver's license.
What grade is she in?
Huh? Do what?
What grade is she in?
He doesn't know.
Oh, she just got married. She's the one that just got married about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so 23.
And moved north.
24.
She's 20, 24.
24. There you go. Yeah. Just make it up, man, if you don't know.
No, don't make up her lady's age.
Hey, if I could have 2 minutes, I do want to give a nice shout out to people out at Wilmington Auto Center. Had a little problem with Deanna's Jeep.
Yeah.
She said, Bill, there's something wrong with the Jeep. I said, what's it doing? It sounds fine. No, she says it's on the floor. Look at the floorboard, the passenger side. And I had an idea of what it was from my days with the automobile experiences. The drain tube somehow or another,
got stuff there for the air conditioning.
right, and it was draining on the inside
Right.
instead of outside like it was supposed to. But a nice thank you, especially to Adam Arman and to Johnny Gerard and the people at Wilmington Auto Center. They really saved me on this one because she was beside herself. She was upset. No, Adam Arman. Adam is the service writer, service advisor, and Johnny Gerard runs the service department. My former neighbor, he runs service and parts, and they got the vehicle in. I says, Deanna, drop it off. They'll try to fit it in. We were thinking it was still under factory warranty, but there's some kind of a quirk about production date versus in-service date. The in-service date ends as of today, May 23rd, but they got it fixed. And when you said that, about $135, I had to spend a little bit of money out of pocket, but just to get it fixed, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Wilmington Auto Center came through for us. Happy wife is happy life. Good job.
true.
Thank you. Appreciate it. They did a great job.
Well, consider yourself lucky because I've never figured out any way to have a happy wife.
Okay.
You've tried to.
It takes a lot of patience. She puts up with a lot from me.
You've tried
Yep.
4 times, brother. I mean, maybe you don't have any more. You just play the field a little bit.
Sometimes that can be just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, graduations. Of course, Wilmington High School graduation tonight. Blanchester's is on Sunday afternoon, and I'll be covering that for the paper. And let's see, did East Clinton have theirs yet, or is it this weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
Right, Fairfield had theirs last weekend. Clinton Massey had theirs last Friday. So,
Right.
tip of the cap to all
Yeah,
the
'cause-
graduates. Job well done. It's a pinnacle moment for all the parents and the grandparents and the kids. And
Little Miami's
yep,
this weekend too.
go Panthers. Yep, theirs is at the Nutter Center. I remember when it used to be in June.
It was last
the first
weekend,
Saturday was.
I think it was last weekend.
And it was always at the football field unless it rained, and they had to take it inside the gymnasium. But it got so big, they've had to move it to the Nutter Center or to Centos.
No, this is another center.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day.
A lot has happened since 1976.
Yeah.
It was on the football field, and shortly thereafter, it had to move to the Nutter once the Nutter was up.
Yeah, I know when I graduated in '78, it was always at the college.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when they moved it back to the high school, but it was at the college.
When the new auditorium when the new gymnasium was built and constructed at the middle school.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. I think Butch Peel spoke in '79. That was the year that Deanna graduated, and I think we soon after. I think when they moved everything, we wanted to streamline the process. That's why they have the senior convocation and have the awards assembly, because our goal always is to get graduation done from start to finish within an hour, depending upon how big the class
Right.
is. But the focus is on the kids graduating. That's the
Something
thing.
about confetti cannons or something.
Don't Charlie, don't even bring that up. It's old history, Charlie. It's already overdone with.
Do you have a last thought?
I do have a final thought.
Those are passe. I'll beat him to the punch. Those are passe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just playing the role with Jerry Kidd.
Well, you get me wired, don't you? You really
Jerry
do.
Springer. He's Jerry Springer.
This one is from Eric.
It's my.
Oh, jeez.
No, my quote is from Mitch Albom.
Good man.
Mitch Albom. You're not a wave, you're a part of the ocean. Mitch Albom. You're not a wave.
I always loved him on the Sports Reporters. That was a show I used to watch all
like
the
that
time.
show, too.
Yes.
Who was that big guy? He's Philadelphia. Remember the big guy, the glasses? You know who I'm
Drawing
talking
a
about.
blank. Yeah, but it's drawing a
can't
blank
think of
right
his name.
now.
Mitch Albom's one though. Mitch Albom's got some great books out too. The 5 People We Meet in Heaven.
Right.
There's a lot.
Once again, we are not on for Memorial Day Monday.
That's right. No show.
No, well, that too.
No show Jones Monday. Tuesday, we've got the beautiful. I gotta look up her name.
Well, I know you're looking for people, but
Lexi Stifler.
okay.
You gonna be back Tuesday?
I'll be back Tuesday.
Lexi Stifler will be here. She, her family owns and operates the furniture store in Washington Courthouse by Dairy Queen.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be fun to listen to her a little bit. JJ Marie is supposed to come Wednesday and bring donuts.
We're not sure.
JJ Marie is supposed to come Wednesday and bring donuts.
Bill did bring donuts today.
Bill did
Yes.
bring, but I
Thanks to
didn't get,
Deanna. Yep.
but I
Thank
didn't
you.
get one of the chocolate
brownies
ones.
from his beautiful wife.
Those were awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
great
just
brown.
not
Yes.
coming down off the sugar high.
No,
I had another one, and I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, help me. And that's why I told you guys to bring. That's why I sent Charlie a text last night. I said, tell the guys to bring go containers so they can take some of this stuff home.
Next Thursday, we got the Fayette County Connection. And then Friday, we got Clinton County Commissioner Mike McCarty and Mr. Bill Learman. And you say you're not going to be here June 6th.
June 6th,
right?
I do have to work up at Washington
So
Courthouse.
I need to put that no bill.
If I'm open, I might try to pop in.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, have a safe and great Memorial Day.
Everybody
Yes.
have a good holiday.
Thank you to all who served.
Always come to a car show. Saturday, we're at New Holland. Sunday, we are at Church of Christ and Christian Union in Sabina, right next to the IGA, noon to 4.
I told Kimmy Walker I was going to do this because of Dave. Dave's always signature sign off on the radio program was, today's what you make it, folks.